Yo, good morning, traders. What is up? Welcome and good morning to another episode of Market in the Morning. I'm your host, Kevin Dubrisky. Today is July 21st. It is a Tuesday. We are here bright and early. We're going to mark down some levels, cover some fundamentals, show you guys how to utilize market, and so much more. I'll also give you some actionable price levels that we're going to look to trade off of. Yesterday, we absolutely smashed TP on the ES. We were 2 for 2. Let's see if we could run that back today, guys. If you're excited, drop that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you're trading because Market in the Morning starts right now. Hey, good morning, everybody. Famous, what's up? Adam, good morning. Elisa, good morning. Cerimid, my apologies on the mispronunciation. What's going on? Gemma, good morning. Hope you guys are all doing well. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are excited. We're going to kill it today. Let's start off the bat with asking market, what is the bias on gold today? Look how cool this is. You could either pull it up over here on the right-hand side, or you can use it over here on the left. And again, this is not released to the public yet, so we do have access to it here on the back end. So I'll give you guys a sneak peek right now. So what is gold's bias? Gold is bullish on both time frames, currently trading at 40.62, intraday targets of 41.05. On strength, with pullbacks near support 39.90. The key support is the U.S.-Iran mediation proposal for a 10-day halt and strikes, which has calmed safe haven demand for now and allowed Brent crude to ease. So guys, a lot of people were a little confused on the whole, well, if there's a war going on, why isn't gold, the safe haven, moving higher? Why was it actually moving lower? And the reason for that is because of the direct impact it had on oil. Now, higher oil prices tend to be bringing a lot of liquidity out of gold. So now that we start seeing oil start to come back lower, we can look for some higher gold prices as well. So let's take a look at that. We're going to dive into it. Flip watch, the main risk is if the Middle East attacks escalate and disrupt tankers, driving oil prices higher and potentially rekindling inflation fears that bring Fed hikes back into market pricing. Again, guys, everything comes into place. Kimmy, good morning. Ibrahim, good morning. Aaron, good morning. Guys, what is going on? What is up? Drop a hello, drop a like button. Let's run that like button up quick this morning, guys. Let's make some money today. I'm excited. So this is gold's bias. We're looking at support the bias, what could flip the bias. Really cool Ask Market Assistant. Very cool there. Let's see. Let's go back to our dashboard now. Let's take a look at gold itself, and we do see that gold is actually bullish and bullish. So before we were looking at a slightly bearish and slightly bullish, we were sort of in that middle of the ground situation. So let's take a look at gold charts. And real quick, guys, this was the ES trade that we took yesterday that absolutely killed it. Originally, I was looking for this area down here. It would have taken some time. It would have even had a huge pullback. So I'm happy with where I got at, which was over here once we started seeing that weakness. Really huge trade. We'll look to repeat that today as well. But for now, let's take a look at gold and see if we could find any good trade setups on GC or XAU USD for all my Forex homies. So let's see. First thing we notice, and let's go to some higher time frames, right? We want to do a top-down analysis. I'm going to be doing this on GC and XAU USD. Both of them are lined up next to each other. The one on the left-hand side over here is GC, and what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to put the watermark for the ticker there. Apply to all, so you guys could see this is XAU USD, and this is GC. So we're going to mark out our previous day high, our previous day low. Then when we go to a lower time frame, we're going to be marking out some of the market key levels that market is giving us. Here's our open price as well on gold. Very strong. We see that we're already seeing a very strong daily candle today on gold. So we're most likely going to be looking for some type of pullback. So look at that, guys. Before we even went to a lower time frame, we're getting a bit of an idea of that bias. Mariri, what's going on? Good morning. I will say this 4-hour rejection candle is not too promising for gold, but we really need to see how this current candle that we're on right now closes. If we do start to push lower and we close somewhere over here, that tells us all these buyers are trapped in a losing position because price sold off away from them. However, because we are still on more of a bullish bias, we can look to see if we break that pre-market high, then we know we've also broken this recent high, and we're most likely headed a bit higher as well. So we're going to keep in mind the fundamental bias is still bullish because of the cooling inflation, because of oil coming lower. So there's definitely a few reasons that we would be bullish on gold, but we don't want to be super married to that bias, right? We want to do our own technical analysis, and then we want to do the fundamentals too to give us some insights. So let's take a look. 2-hour time frame, not really seeing much. We had this area that price held. I will say this zone right here, we have on ES and we have on GC and XAU USD. I would want to see price pull back to that area. So I'm looking for price to pull back to its previous day high. That's around 40.46 on gold and 40.40 on XAU USD. So we're looking for a pullback to possibly go long, right? And we're looking for a pullback to go long. Our fundamental bias is strong. Everything is strong at the moment. And we're not even looking for a crazy move, right? We're just looking for price to reclaim an area that we were just at overnight. So that's 40.46, 40.40 on gold. That lines up with our fundamental bias. And now let's take a look at the dollar too. And we do want to take a look at oil. If oil is climbing higher, we want to be extra careful with taking any stabs at gold longs. Now take a look at this. This is huge. This purple zone that we have right here, this is a huge key level that we've had for a while now. Since June 19th, we've had this for over 32 days. And this has been a very strong area where, guess what? The dollar has reversed. So if we're looking for the dollar to reverse off of this zone, we see it held as resistance, support, support, support multiple times over here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Now we're back in that area. Even yesterday, take a look at that. We held it as resistance. We pushed lower on the dollar, which means we would end up pushing higher on gold. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the dollar to find an area to reject, to move back lower up here, while gold finds an area of support to move higher, right? Almost like our trade we took on ES yesterday, where VIX was reversing at a key level and ES was doing the same. So now we're looking for that on gold and the dollar. So really great setup right there. No, Adam, Nolab is not joining today. Nolab is a busy guy. He's out. He's taking a nice, well-deserved vacation this week. He's taking care of some stuff on his end. So make sure you guys run that like button up for him. I'm not seeing it slow. It seemed okay on my end. Try refreshing your browser or closing it out and reopening it. That might help. But let's see. I'll hit ES, and we'll see how quick it pulls up for us. Yeah, no, it's pretty quick. Not too bad. Appreciate it, Charles. Good morning. Yep, insta like, guys. Make sure you like that. Like the video if you enjoy. Drop any tickers that you want me to cover. You guys already know the vibes, though. We start with gold. Let's actually cover oil real quick as well. And let's see where we're at on oil. So dollar's moving up temporarily. Oil is trying to move higher. So that is definitely a bit of a concern for any longs on gold. It's going to see some pressure because of that. Look at the same idea. We had this big range we were in. We broke out of it. We sold back into it. And remember yesterday I said to be careful. We might just be retesting this range before we continue. So let's see. Oil, previous day high and low. Previous day high was not taken out. But again, that's going to be our key level to say, okay, once we break previous day high, if price remains above previous day high on oil, two things are going to happen. Gold is going to have a much harder time. So gold, a bit bearish with higher oil. And that's going to impact inflation. Impact on inflation. Now, guess what? That impact on inflation, it's full circle into that bearish on gold. Because if we're higher on inflation because of higher oil costs, the odds of a rate hike increase. So guess what? Gold does not like that. We saw this whole down move with that rate hike expectations. We do not want to trade that. We want to be very careful at that point. So keep an eye on that for oil. 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, sort of running through the time frames, getting a bit of an idea of where there might be some type of support or resistance we can look for to possibly trade here on oil. I'm not really seeing anything high quality on oil as an asset right now. I'd possibly want to look for this range right here. As we see, this is an area where price consolidated before having a very strong move lower. So what we can look for, because oil's looking a bit more bullish, is we can look for a break out of this zone and then a retest into it. And we could take that long, targeting that previous day high or a new high of day, wherever we pull back from. Yo, good morning. Good morning. John asks, when will the full features be released? Let's take a look. I'm going to show you right now. So obviously most of market is released. I believe it's just the ask market button that's not available yet for you guys. It should be out very soon. I don't want to give you guys a definitive day or time, but it should be out very soon. The dev end is always working on stuff. They really just want to make sure that it's well done before we push it out to you guys, right? Because it's still on that beginner phase, still in testing periods. You guys saw yesterday, I used it for SpaceX and it should have worked. Let's see. Give me a rundown of SpaceX. And it did say it can't because it's not a publicly traded company, which it is. So we'll see if now it does work. Yeah, so you see that it does work now. So it's still has a few little bugs, but we're still working on it and it will come out very soon. Yusuf, good morning, brother. How are you? So SpaceX is down 3.3% today. Guys, this is huge. I don't know if you guys saw the charts of SpaceX lately, but a lot of traders, billions and billions of dollars, completely in a red position, completely underwater. We covered that. We know about it. $1.3 billion. Anybody who bought SpaceX over here, really anybody that bought SpaceX in this whole entire range right here, because guess what? They're red. This position is red. $2.77 billion is in the red position right now. That is massive, massive. Most likely is going to see some continuation. What's up, Ryan? When you get a chance, please show us how to use market on TradingView. Yo, absolutely. Absolutely. I know I called it, man. I know I called it. I've been saying, even when it started to rally off the beginning, I was like, this is a fake out. This is the biggest fake out I've ever seen. But let's pull up that market integration. Let's see. I do have to, give me a second here, pull up this other tab. Perfect. And let me just bring this back up for a moment. There we go. Alrighty. So you want to know how to use TradingView, how to use market in TradingView. Let's do it. Let's run through it. So the market integration in TradingView, you're going to add it, right? And once you have that tool connected, you're going to click your extension button up here, and it will tell you the extensions you have. You're going to click the market one, and then it will add it to your chart. There it is. Now, when we click it, it's just going to have me sign in real quick. I'm just going to do that. Give me half a second. Perfect. Now, they have recently updated it when we officially launched it this past week. And what that gave us was a much cleaner interface. And it also gave us the bias section. So now we could take a look. If we're looking at the S&P 500 over here, we could look at our bias right here on market on the actual TradingView chart. How cool is that? So we are getting a slightly bullish bias on the S&P 500. We do want to remember slightly bullish does mean that we're not extremely strong bullish. So we want to be very careful with that and not be so quick to marry a bias that says slightly, right? If it says slightly bullish, guess what? Yesterday was slightly bullish too, and yet we caught beautiful shorts. But hey, people who went long off support, they also caught a nice trade. So it's really that middle range right now. So we do want to be very careful on that. Hopefully, hey Kevin, have you gone through NASDAQ? No, not yet. I will go through NASDAQ in just a minute. I got you guys. We covered a little bit of gold. I gave you guys some price levels on gold, how the dollar's reacting right now. Yeah, Paul, if you want, rewind and check out gold, or if you want to stick around, I will cover it again. I'm just going to run through the S&P 500 and NASDAQ right now. So let's take a quick look and see. Bias on gold, on ES, day trading bias slightly bullish. Softer inflation reduces urgency for additional aggressive Fed tightening. But remember, oil ties into now both gold and the S&P and NASDAQ. If oil tries to remain higher, that is a more bearish sentiment for the S&P, NASDAQ, and gold. That's if oil continues higher. The reason for that is because higher oil means higher inflation. Higher inflation means more of a chance that the Fed hikes interest rates. If the Fed's hiking interest rates, gold's selling off, ES and NQ are moving lower as well. So let's check our calendar. Now, today is Tuesday. We do not have any big economic data today. Nothing major. Wednesday, you guys guessed it, we got nothing on Wednesday. Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, and Friday, we really don't have much either. We have new home sales, but that's 10 a.m. Eastern, and that's really not the biggest of impacts. Sometimes we get the smallest of moves, but this is really a bit of a no-news week. Let's take a look at our breaking news headlines or even our high impact. Then I'll give you guys price levels on ES. We'll run through NQ, and then we'll circle back to gold as well, give you guys an analysis there too. Iran official meets mediators in Pakistan on Tuesday. Okay, so that is today. Hopefully that's sometime soon. We get a headline about that. What's great too with this integration, this market integration, is if you have it collapsed and you have this button right here, headline notification turned on, if we get a breaking news headline, it's going to show up in the bottom right over here on your TradingView screen. So you're not missing any big headlines, and you also don't need it open the whole time. So that's really cool right there. Let's quickly mark down some S&P 500 and NASDAQ. We'll start with the S&P, as you guys already know. Start with our previous day high, our previous day low. Previous day low was taken out. Obviously, we completely reversed since then. I would be looking to see if we can make our way back to 75.50 today. So with the bullish bias, I'm looking for a bullish trade. But let's just make sure that everything is lining up properly. So I'm not really seeing any new areas of support or resistance. We do have this area right here, which did hold. So what I'll do, so you guys see how this area held as resistance yesterday. We moved lower, and then today we've been rejecting it multiple times. So guess what? If I'm looking for a long position right now, but I'm finding an area above us to short, I'm not going to go long into this zone. I'm not going to go long when we're in this zone. I'm going to go long when we break this zone and retest this area. This is a very strong area that price has shown. It's an area of interest. There is interest at this price level around 75.28. That is where I'm looking for those longs on the ES to even just have a nice scalp higher. Now, if we soar right through this, let's say New York session opens, we blast right through, we don't look back, we continue, we keep pushing higher, we blast through this one, and guess what? Same trade setup. I'm going to be looking for this area, which was a resistance, it was support, to then become support again. But while we're below it, it is still resistance. Same situation with this one. So that's what I'm looking for on ES at the moment. Price level wise, really nothing crazy clear that suggests we're going higher or we're going lower. We have resistance above us. We have some support below us. Nothing crazy. I am actually interested in deleting this range right here because we broke that so many times. So if the market isn't finding interest at that level we have marked out, we want to delete that off our chart. If the market's not interested, we shouldn't be interested. And when I say the market, I'm talking about the general overall higher volume that enters the market. So this is the S&P 500. We covered some, let's see. So we covered S&P. We could take a look at NASDAQ now. NASDAQ already higher than where the ES was. Look at that. ES is all the way down here. So they call that divergence, right? Where ES is down here, didn't break that high. NASDAQ didn't break it either, but it's it did break it. NASDAQ did break that high. So NASDAQ showing more significant strength to it. So if anything, again, if we're bullish, we're going to take a look at our market terminal here on our bias and take a look at NASDAQ. Again, same thing, slightly bullish, slightly bullish. Fed expected to keep rates steady at July meeting. That's almost a definitive at this point, that the Fed's not going to cut any rates this month. So that is a positive. And when we talk about markets, we talk about how markets are forward-looking. So because they're forward-looking, we will look for that to hold some truth and to hold some support. Let's take a look at NASDAQ here. Again, we could start on that daily time frame, do our top-down analysis, mark out our previous day high, our previous day low, and of course our opening price. We see that we're far above our open and previous day low right now. However, with the NASDAQ, yes, it looked more bullish on that 15-minute time frame, even on a 30-minute time frame. But when we look at that daily, NASDAQ just broke this recent low just 2 days ago. So that's also one of the main reasons we're seeing slightly bullish on the bias and not just bullish on the bias. If we were up here, it'd be bullish. It'd be really easy, a much cleaner read. It'd be bullish. Right now, we're slightly bullish because price is trying to hold right now, but it's struggling. Very, very much so, it is struggling. The main area I'm looking for on NASDAQ today is near this 29,346. I mentioned this yesterday when price was trading over here. I was looking for a short position there. Trade plan hasn't changed. I'm still looking for a short position, 29,346 on the NASDAQ. However, I do want to see if we could set ourselves up for a long position. I see these purple areas I have right here. These are strong key levels. 29,076, 29,165, and then we could pull up market and we could see where market is giving some key levels. Hey, Alexander, I appreciate it, man. It's my pleasure. I love doing this. I love these live streams. I love trading. I love helping people, so it's a perfect combination. ES pullback level 74.70, resistance 75.42. I wonder, no. 75.42. Let's see. And price target 76.05. So 75.42. Let's pull up some ES one more time. 75.42. 75.42 is going to be, look at that. That's perfect. Guys, our market key level lines up right near our supply area that we had, that resistance point. And you know what I'll do? I'll make this red for you guys, so you don't get confused with it being a support area. But this is our market key level right here. So our market key level, along with our own technical key level that we found, that's a nice trade setup right there. We want to find that confluence in the price levels that market gives us, and we find during our own technical analysis. So that's a market level right there, 75.42. We also have 74.70. 74.70 is down over here. So we'll mark it out just so we have it. We do want to be aware, we are headed towards that area right now. 75, 74, 72, right there. So again, right, we're slightly bullish. Perhaps we sweep that previous day low and that pre-market low one more time, and then find support and move higher. We see that that's sort of been the trend. Look, right here. Let's see if we swept that. Were we a tick away, or did we double bottom on that? Look at that perfect double bottom right here, guys. Double bottom, price reversed. I'll look to see how we react. Let's mark out the new opening price on the S&P. It's going to be right over here. Open price has been a very strong key level lately on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. There's an example, by the way. Breaking news headline shows up right on your screen. 2 oil tankers laden with Saudi crew make U-turn. Ooh. Let's see, where'd that go? Make U-turns in Red Sea, head for Suez. Interesting. ES, again, really not seeing much of confidence, nothing clarifying this trend. It's 8:45 right now. We do have about 45 minutes before the New York session opens. We could cover gold one more time for you guys. Again, any tickers you guys want me to cover, please let me know. Let's cover gold. And I'm going to actually pull up our regular trading view for gold, so I could put GC and XAU USD on the same side. Look at that. Perfect. We're getting that pullback that we're looking for on gold. Gold has definitely had more momentum today. So I am definitely interested in seeing how this plays out in terms of how do we react to that previous day high. Because if we're looking at the daily time frame right here, I want you guys to try to visualize it, right? Try to picture this candle, this daily candle that we're on right now, that's still forming, try to picture what this candle would look like if we were trading below that previous day high, right? Well, if that was the case, we would see a very small body and a much longer upper wick. That'd be a rejection candle. That would be a realistic approach and a realistic candle, especially given the price action we've been seeing. Now, can it go much higher than where we were off this new high of day? Of course it can, but is it realistic, right? We want to know, is it a realistic move? Is it a probable move? And that's a great question. So this last candle, we had 120 points in total. Let's take a look at this one over here. So if we did hit that 120 points, that would bring us up towards that 4120 area. So it is a realistic move. The question is it a probable move? Now, the market fundamentals are giving us slightly bullish. As long as oil does find an area to start to reverse, that would be great. If not, then I would, like I said earlier, I'd be very, very careful with taking any gold positions. Take a look. Oil spiked through that area we looked for, but it did not close above. So I would actually still be looking for, yes, oil to start pushing lower from here. And take a look at that, guys. Take a look at the dollar right here. Perfect reaction to that zone I mentioned. Dollar reaction. Gold still pulling back. These are all good signs. We want to see gold pull back and the dollar react so we could get an area where gold can also reverse to. And that's going to be this purple zone we have mapped out down here. We could put a volume profile up here too, just to get an idea. So let's put that at 6 p.m. Eastern the previous day. Okay, look at that. This is another confirmation. We have our value area low down here. So I don't want you guys to use, when you're using a volume profile, I don't want you to use the value area high and low as exact key levels, because these levels are always moving depending on where 70% of the volume was traded that day. So if that's the case, I want you to use that general area. So that general area lines up with this purple zone, which again, that purple zone area was an area that price rejected. Now we're above it. I would look for price to support it. So very strong area on gold. I will be looking for some buys on GC here. And if we don't get it, we don't get it. Let's see. Guys, let me know any tickers, any assets you want me to cover. I will cover them, no problem. I'm in London. Thought the New York session was 8:30. No, New York open is 9:30 a.m. Eastern. 8:30 is usually when we have some type of inflation report, unemployment data, anything important like that. All right, we just had some headlines come out. Let's see what that was. USTR Greer on Canada trade. Action is tailored. You know what I saw? And let's pull up our market terminal. I could have sworn I saw a headline about tariffs the other day. Kevin the Russell, I got you 100%. Let's see tariffs. Donald Trump is poised to unleash fresh tariffs on dozens of countries as soon as this week, bro. So now we got tariffs back on the table. We know that tariffs bring uncertainty to the market. We know that it could impact inflation. Yeah, Canada tariffs. I know, I saw that too. I know, I thought I saw it somewhere. Yeah, 10 hours ago. Here we go. U.S. imposes new 50% tariffs on $20 billion worth of Canadian products. Crazy. That's insanity right there. And guys, listen, you don't know what this means? Well, what could this mean? You click the sparkle icon and you click explain, and we'll explain what it means for you. Risk off. A 50% tariff shock on Canadian imports raises the odds of higher North American prices, slower trade flows, and margin pressure for retailers, right? Industrials and cross-border manufacturers. Markets are likely to favor USD. So if they're favoring USD and defensive assets, while Canadian-linked Forex equities and cyclicals face immediate pressure. The key watch is whether Ottawa retaliates and whether this escalation into broader USMCA disruption. So again, basically what it's saying, higher prices, higher inflation, higher odds of a rate hike. So now we have tariffs coming into place to give us higher prices. We have oil at higher levels. It seems like, yeah, we had a cooler inflation. And let's look at our economy tab for a moment. Our inflation went from highs of 4.2% to now 3.5%. Huge drop in inflation. It was way cooler than expected. It gave us a beautiful trend that day. But guess what? Higher oil back on the table. New tariffs possibly back on the table. We're going to start to see it either elevate again, so go from 3.5 to maybe 3.7, 3.8, or it might start to slow down the decline. So this last decline, the last report, we went from 4.2 to 3.5. That's a 0.7% drop. That's a massive shift right there in inflation, right? Before, when we were moving higher, this big one was 0.9%. After that, it was like 0.5, then it was another 0.4, then it was a 0.7 drop. So if we start to see inflation start to stall out, we're going to want to be very, very careful and realize that, okay, maybe the rate hikes aren't off the table yet. Maybe with new inflation risks, we're going to see some more downside on gold. How shoot yourself in the foot while your economy is showing signs of recovery? Yeah, seriously. Saying that there's going to be new tariffs when we're finally getting oil back lower is a great way to shoot yourself in the foot and keep those expectations higher. So, yeah, great point there. It's all something that we have to keep in mind when it comes to trading these markets. S&P pulling back. Let's see. So that was some more headlines. USTR says issues need fixing. USTR signals unresolved trade issues amid escalation North American tariff actions. Yo, we were just talking about this. Tariffs. That's crazy. You guys saw it here, man. I was searching it for those old headlines from yesterday. While we were searching it and while I was covering it, they released new headlines on these tariffs right now. I swear, guys, market in the morning, you join here, you're going to see some headlines come into play. But yeah, tariffs, man. Tariff. I'll show you guys what happened the last time we had tariffs here on the ES. The last time we had tariffs was over here, and Trump announced, I'm going to put new tariffs on 3 major countries. It was Canada, Mexico. I don't think it was China at first. There was one other country. I forget. Guys, if you know it, drop it in the comments. But I'm dropping these huge tariffs on these countries, blah, blah, blah. Tariffs bring uncertainty because big investors don't know how new tariffs are going to impact those imports and export prices, which again, those big companies are going to say, hey, wait a minute, our products are more expensive now. We have to pass that on to the consumer because we're not fronting the bill on that. That's ridiculous. So huge sell-off. We sold off 21% from those recent highs on the S&P 500 to find that nice 20% spot. We reversed. We didn't reverse because we hit 20%. We reversed because Trump came out and said, we need liberation, like James Brown. And we had it, right? We moved up 10% in a single day on the S&P and NASDAQ. Trump said pause on all tariffs except for China for 90 days. That gave us this huge relief rally. Then over here, he said, I'm putting a pause on China's tariffs. And then it continued. And then we had optimism for rate cuts. We continued. And then we went a little flat. The Iran war began. Ceasefire was called. Rallied off the ceasefire. Now here we are back in a consolidation period where we have a lot of uncertainty on the table, mainly weighing in the S&P, the inflation reports, oil, and gold. Remember, uncertainty brings more selling pressure. US 30, let's check it out. So US 30 is the same as the YM. YM futures is the Dow. So let's mark our previous day high and previous day low on the Dow right here. Now, I will say Dow is looking a lot stronger to the downside than the ES and NQ at the moment. So take a look at the volume increase right here while we were trying to break down. So that shows me that there are active sellers trying to break these lows and continue. And there is activity at these lows. So if they're selling these lows, I want to be very careful. Shake, what? Oh, yeah, the Russell. I got you, bro. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'll cover the Russell in just one moment. That is the Russell right there. So let's cover that in one sec. Very quickly, let's pull up our market, our bias, and take a look at YM. So look at that. You see that? So you remember before I was telling you guys and explaining how a bullish bias and a bullish bias is great. If it's swing trading bullish and day trading bullish, that shows us a lot more strength. But if we see something like this, where swing trading is starting to switch to slightly bearish, day trading goes from bullish to slightly bullish, we know that we are starting to see some more weakness and even uncertainty. With that uncertainty, we want to be very careful. Not really seeing any good points on the Dow here. Let's take a look at our market terminal and see what key levels Market AI gives us. And you know what? We could ask market. Let's ask market. What are some key levels on the Dow today? Let's see. Let's ask market. That's so cool. Reading market's DIA bias. That again is the Dow Jones Industrial. Don't ask what A stands for. Dow is slightly bullish intraday, 51.17. Okay, pullback levels, resistance, but could flip on escalating Hormuz shipping disruption or sustained oil price pressure that squeezes margins. I tell you guys all the time. Full levels and flip factors in the card below. Great. So now let's also do, what do we want to see? The Russell. What's the bias and price levels on the RTY, which is the Russell futures? Here we go. No price chart. I don't know why it's showing no price chart. I'll let them know. The Russell RTY is in a neutral intraday, no directional edge right now. The bias card below shows the supporting factors, and like I said, it is not there at the moment. I'm going to send a quick screenshot of that to our homies on the back end. And again, one of the reasons why we are not quite ready for the full launch of this, but it's, yo, guys, when it's out, it's going to be sick. It's going to be absolutely sick. Let's see. So let's go dashboard. Let's check our RTY over here. I don't know if I have RTY in my watch list. Not a big fan of trading the Russell myself. But listen, guys, to each his own. If it's something that you're confident in, something that you like to trade, go for it. Use market to understand the fundamentals and the reasons behind everything. That is our goal. When are we getting this to play? We can't ask market just yet, can we? No, not yet. So ask market is not out yet. It should be out very soon. I was telling somebody else to ask the same question. Hopefully within the next week or two. But you know, I don't want to speak for the dev team. Noab is away this week. We got to let him do his thing. Everybody needs some time to R&R, right? Rest and reset. Let him do his thing. But when he comes back, guarantee he's going to be busting his ass on that. Nil is always working hard, man. The whole back-end team is always doing great. Yusuf says, Kevin, do you think that we have enough of a catalyst to break 4080? I'm still expecting range-bound gold. What do you think? Let me cover your gold question in a half a second. I just want to give our friend, who was that? Shake over here, the some bias and some levels on RTY. So let's check the Russell right now. RTY. Russell's a lot more bearish than bullish. Ooh, a lot more range bound really than anything. Look at that hourly right here. We're barcoding. You could take a scanner up to the chart right now and you could find a bar and it'll scan something. It'll tell you you're scanning Oreos. Now let's see. So take a look at this area that I just marked out here on the Russell. Here's our support and resistance that we're trading with. So I definitely would not look to sell the lows, but I definitely wouldn't really look to buy the lows either right now. So be patient on that. See where it's at. What I would say about the Russell, if you are looking for an intraday trade, is wait for a reaction off of those pre-market highs. If we get a reaction off of that pre-market high, and I'm talking about any reaction, where we come up, we sweep it, we reverse, and then we reject back lower, you're going to want to take it short to target this blue zone. But let's say we break it with strength, we close somewhere higher, we might look for a retest to go long and then target that next key level we have. So that's what I'm looking for on the Russell today. Again, me, myself, I am not taking any trades on it, but this is my analysis on it. That is our market fundamentals on it as well. Fundamentals are slightly bearish. So another trade setup. So let's say this setup doesn't occur. This is why it's so important to have multiple scenarios. If we end up breaking lower, we'd be looking for a similar move where we have this area of support down here. We could define this a little bit better, make it a bit smaller here, and say, okay, great. Russell's more slightly bearish. If we break this zone right here with strength, I'm going to look for a retest, and then I'll target the next pivot, so the downside, right? So it's all about price level to price level when it comes to marking out and doing your analysis. Let's see. That looks good, man. That looks good. That looks solid on the Russell. This trade setup right here would really go with the market analysis. But technical wise, we've been holding this range since July 8th. So we've been holding this range for about two weeks now. To be very careful on that on the Russell. I am chilling in a 1 to 16 RR right now on NASDAQ. Damn, catch me if you can. No kidding. No kidding. How do you catch such a big move like that? How you do that? Good job, catch me if you can. Good work, good work. Shake, I hope you do appreciate that analysis. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't already. And then Yusuf was asking about gold. Do I think we have enough momentum to break 40.80 today? 40.80 on what, GC or XAU USD? Oh, I guess both of them are very similar in price. Yeah, you know what? If we remain above the VWAP right over here, and if the dollar also remains more bearish, which we had that right over, oh, I got to put the dollar back here, DXY. That's the dollar asset that I look at. So look at that. Dollar's still moving back higher. We want the dollar to find an area to reverse up here. So I'm looking for the dollar to reverse. I'm looking for gold to pull back and give me some support near VWAP or near that previous day high. Really, the previous day high is my goal for support on gold. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We can't kick ourselves. We can't be upset with ourselves. Yeah, appreciate it. Caught it yesterday. NQ daily low. Good job. Good job. Yeah, so from a fundamental standpoint, you know, price has already been, so we'll put them together, right? It's good that we have technicals and fundamentals lining up. Technical wise, we were already at 40.80 today. It's a lot easier for price to return to a level it has already traded at versus hitting a brand new level we haven't traded at. Now, you have a great question, though. Fundamentally, right, we still have no meaningful news of de-escalation of the war. We're getting headlines about tariffs. We're getting all this stuff coming out. I do want to quickly check how markets reacted to tariffs on gold. So this was the tariff situation here, and gold moved higher with the tariffs, it would seem. So again, something to keep in mind, that tariffs don't really have that direct negative impact on gold. It's really more so the tariffs making higher prices, causing inflation to move higher, which that then has that impact on gold because the higher inflation impacts the monetary policy. You guys see how the dominoes fall there, man? It's like higher prices, higher inflation, higher chance of a rate hike, lower gold. Like, you really got to follow the breadcrumbs to really understand these financial markets. Or you could just join Market in the Morning and we'll break it down simple enough for you. But yeah, no, you got a great point there that we really haven't had a proper de-escalation headline. OpenAI agents surpassed 10 million users following ChatGPT work launch. I know about you guys, but ever since Claude came out and started doing great, I haven't used GPT too much. I'll throw Wordle in there sometimes if I'm stuck on one. Hey, Kevin, what about gold buying at key area around 40.30s on CFD? Great question. I like that you emphasized which one you're looking at. So yeah, 40.30 is that same area that I'm looking for on the CFDs. I'm looking for 40.30 to around 40.40. That is near our previous day high. I want to see price return back into this range, find some support, and move higher from there. We do want to be very careful, though, because remember, for gold to move down here, right, for gold to make our way to these lows, we would have to sell. So if we're selling off at this point, we're selling lower, we go from 40 40.55 to 40.50 to 40.45 to 40.40. We don't want to catch a falling knife. We want to wait for the reaction. So let gold trade into this range, right into this area, and then once you start to see prices wicking back out of it, you don't want to take it on the first wick. You take it on that first reaction, and then that candle closes back against you. You're going to feel like, a little silly. Like, why would I take a trade so soon? Markets didn't react. Markets didn't give me confirmation. You want to wait for candles to actually start closing back in your favor. So think of it this way. We sell off, we're red candle, maybe a small green candle, red candle, red candle, red candle. We want to see those green candles start to come in at our key level. Once we start seeing those red ones die down, those green ones start to form, that's confirmation that our predetermined price level, our predetermined zone is starting to hold, and we can take it long at that point. If not, then we don't take any longs, and yeah, we might be heading even lower from there. Like Mr. Catch Me If You Can is saying. He's saying that he could possibly be seeing gold. Let's see. Let's see. XAUUSD going to 40.11. Okay, 40.11. That's way down over here. So that's near our open price today. That would call for a very big pullback. I will say, if the dollar can't reverse off of this zone and the dollar scales above this area, sure, we could definitely look to see that. And also, look at oil on the left-hand side over here. If it will load in. I clearly clicked way too quick for TradingView. Yo, what's up, City? Good morning. Oh, come on, TradingView. Why you got to be like that? Put oil over here then. Oil is moving higher right now. Look at how oil's flying. Oil is very close to previous day high. We know that that is going to put pressure on gold. So really just a matter of being patient right now, seeing how it wants to try to play out. Gold, oil, the dollar. Dollar's still rejecting this zone. So we see that the dollar's trying to react back to the downside off of this range, which would support gold to the upside. So just something to keep in mind. So that's my thoughts on gold. S&P, NASDAQ. We cover S&P one more time real quick. Just make sure we find any levels. Beautiful zone 40.25. I know, man. I'm thinking the same thing. 40.25 down here. Okay. Possibly. What are you seeing there? Guys, don't forget, join our free Discord community. I'm going to pull that up right now. Watch Hub 9 live show for you, confused market AI, some kind of bias feature. Kumar. Yeah, guys, come join our Discord. I'm going to send you guys a link to it right now. Join our Discord. Drop some comments. I want you guys right now, right this minute, to join that Discord community. And I want you to leave screenshots in the general tab. Screenshot the chart that you're looking at, and I'll dissect it right here on Market in the Morning with you guys, if you want me to. If you don't, just share it. That's fine too. I want to see what you guys are looking at, how you guys are breaking down your charts and levels. Let's see. Now, as you guys know, I am a big fan of equities when we're trading, right? So if we're trading the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, we want to be aware of where is the S&P and NASDAQ and the equities trading. Equities being Meta, Microsoft, Apple, SpaceX now, Google, NVIDIA, all of them, Meta, all of them, very, very important. Right now, they're very range-bound. They're very condensed in price. They're struggling to find direction. So I want to see, can Microsoft rally and hold up? Well, look, Microsoft closed at 402 yesterday. My goodness, I got to get like Red Bull or something. Microsoft closed at 402. Now it's at 398. 1% drop overnight. Apple closed at 326. Now it's at 325. 0.5% drop. NVIDIA, on the other hand, closed at 203 and is now at 205. 206. That's a 1.3% increase in NVIDIA overnight. NVIDIA, and look at that. NVIDIA, Meta also gapped up from 645 to 650. That is almost a 1% move. So NVIDIA, Meta, and SpaceX all have gap ups. Apple, Microsoft, and Google all have gap downs. What does this tell you as a trader, guys? This tells you that there's uncertainty. There's a mixed bias in our equities. We know that we're going to be expecting a range. when we know that we're expecting a range, 9 times out of 10, that first move that we get on the ES and NASDAQ is going to be the fake out. So again, ideally, I'm looking for this blue zone up here. Can we find resistance at this point? Can we find some shorts to take it down lower? Excuse me. So we'll look for shorts up here, possibly look for a sweep of the pre-market highs. So take a look at this. We swept this high, we reversed lower. We create this high right here. Now I'm looking for a similar setup. Sweep that high, reverse back lower. It might even look to target VWAP at that point. But this is a possible short setup on S&P 500 right here. I will keep a close eye on the 15-minute closes in 3 minutes. That's also when the New York session opens. I'm going to mark this area out right here. The reason I do want to mark this area out is, again, same situation. I want to be prepared with multiple scenarios. If we break below this zone, I'll look for an area to retest to go short. We hold above that zone, I'll look to see if it's a possibility to go long in that area. But right now, we're going to wait. We're going to let markets prove to us. It does look like we can also, just remember too, we can also go and sweep that low here, 75.05, and come towards 75,000. That's a key psychological level right there. So not for nothing, what I'll do is I will fade out this range, this is box right here, because I'm not that convinced on this box. However, I would be more convinced on that key psych level, that 7,500 area right here. So we'll mark that out, put that box right back on there. And now that can also be a level that we're saying we're looking for price to react to. It's all about doing your analysis, your pre-market prep, having trade setups before the market actually sets up. That way you're not chasing every little move you see. So let me just quickly deep dive into ES, because again, this is the asset that I'm going to be trading with you guys. We killed it on the shorts yesterday. I would like to see a similar reaction. I don't really see any sellers till 75.32. Which again is above these highs. So sweep of these highs, find some selling pressure, maybe even sweep this recent high we had yesterday, and then reverse back lower for a very quick move to the downside. That would be one of the trade setups I'm looking for today on the S&P 500. And guys, let me know, what are you trading today? Let me know right now, what are you trading? And also, guys, we're going to be turning comments off for non-subscribers. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Let's see, guys. Market's open in about a minute and a half. Let's cover NASDAQ very quickly, too. Down over here, we have VIX. So take a look at VIX, guys. VIX already came off of that purple level trying to reverse back higher. But now it's at a key level trying to reverse back lower. We know a lower VIX means a higher S&P and NASDAQ. Tam, what's going on? What's up, Robert? Yes, sir. S&P 500. Nice, man. Nice. Were you here yesterday? We caught this whole drop right here. It was amazing. Let's see, NASDAQ. Let's see, NQ, not really seeing much. I do, you know what, I will say, I'm not seeing much, but I do see this area right here, which was a supply, which I'll mark it out as supply. We're above it now. Yeah, you were here? Awesome, man. Awesome. ES and NQ. What's up, XO? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, ski. So I will look for 29,096. It's also very close to key psych level, 29,100. So just a few things that we're keeping an eye on, right? And right now we're preparing, and now we're prepared. We know what levels we're looking for on the ES. We know what levels we're looking for on the NASDAQ. If NASDAQ does just rally off the open, I am considering possible shorts off 29,346. So we'll see. And at that point, for NASDAQ to rally that high, which would be about 200 points, not the biggest of moves, it would help bring ES higher too. So let's see how markets want to open. We have 20 seconds till markets open. Gold is stuck in a range. Guys, gold is in a no trade zone. Do not trade gold right now. S&P and NASDAQ are our main watches at the moment. Let's put our volume profile up very quickly. See where that's at. Probably D-shaped. Yup, looking to buy in the low volume area. NASDAQ as well. Let's take a quick look. All right, same thing. Low volume area down over here. A little one right over here near that 29,100 that I mentioned. So let's keep an eye. We'll see how markets react. New York session is open now. So we'll just be patient. Let markets come to us. Let's see. Did markets open or am I early? No, markets didn't open yet. It's 9:15. Man, that's funny, man. Yeah, New York session opens in 15 minutes. Yeah, I was, it's funny. I was looking at the countdown on that 15-minute candle close, and for whatever reason, I thought it was the 9:15 candle. But no, we still do have some time there. That's good. Yep, I'm 15 minutes early, bro. I'm excited. I thought the market was going to open early for us, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm just that excited to trade, guys. Got to be excited. Got to enjoy trading. Bro, happens to the best of us. You know what it is? It's got a lot on the monitor. When I'm live streaming, I'm always keeping an eye on the chat. Yes, sir. Excited for another W. You guys already know that, man. You already know. Guys, make sure you run the like button up. If you're not following already, yeah, inside info. If you're not following already, MRKTAI.insights on Instagram, Trading with Kev on Instagram, Market.ai on X, and Trade with Kev on X. You had me all excited. High on pips. That's great. Bro, we're high in profits, man. That's awesome, guys. That's awesome. Guys, if there's ever too much on my screen, you want me to take off the volume profile, you want me to remove something, please speak up. My goal here is to make things as simple and easy for you guys as possible. And if that means taking something off my chart, adding something to my chart, you let me know and I'll get it done, guys. I am here. I'm a man of the people here. We're a trader for the traders here. Dollar continuing to try to push higher. I wouldn't be interested in gold shorts because the dollar is moving higher, because the dollar is moving into a very strong point that price has reacted to in the past. I don't think it can be more simpler than this. Bro, I try. I know, right? I'm like, you guys want me to remove anything? And there's like 2 boxes on my chart right now. Is this too much? But no, gold. But well, gold, I keep the rectangles and I keep the volume profile and VWAP. Yeah, I guess it's really not too much. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. Awesome, man. Awesome. Cool. Let's see. Gold continuing to pull back. So again, this is a no trade zone on gold. If you're in a trade right now on gold, I want you to let me know if you're long or short, and want you to tell me what price you entered from so I can tell you to get the heck out. But in all reality, this is a no trade zone on gold. The reason we know that, it's a fact. It's a fact that this is a no trade zone. Very rarely do markets give us facts, but this is a fact that it's a no trade zone because, listen, my analysis tells me I'm interested in this area and this area. If we're trading in this area, that's a no trade zone. That's a fact. When you guys do your own analysis too, guess what? If you see we're not trading at any of your predetermined trade scenario levels, that's a fact. We're not trading anything right here. Shorting actual candle new low. Oh, bro, don't you take it? You're shorting the lows right now. Remember, we're sort of in this 5-minute range right here. So shorting the lows, you got to be very careful on that. Hey, live. Yes. By the way, congrats to Margaret. Great stream by Jeeve on Chart Fanatics live this morning. Chat, we're mind blown at Jeeve's demonstration. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's sick. I'm super hyped. Super happy to hear that. That is great. Yeah, Jeeve does amazing. His fundamental analysis and knowledge is next level. We could take a look. If you guys want to dive into some market fundamentals, we can absolutely do that too. But let's see. ES. Let's see if there are any flip washers we could keep an eye on, right? Escalating U.S.-Iran conflict and base attacks dampen risk sentiment. This is 7 minutes ago. Hungary Central Bank Governor Varga says Middle East conflict seems to be escalating again. 7 minutes ago. So again, what can flip us to a more bearish bias? It's going to be something like that. I'm expecting, what's up, Piyush says, I'm expecting some optimism from Iran and Trump. The market doesn't care about the tariffs anymore. The market doesn't care about the tariffs right now, right? Once things do get implemented, that's when things in markets might start to shift because we're actually getting them. Right now, it's all just talk. And it seems like markets are understanding that when a certain somebody's talking, it is mainly just talk, right? I'm sure you guys heard this growing up, but listen, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe that there's an actual peace deal being made when I see it. I feel like we were close at some point with that $300 billion that was on the table. But that sort of went out the window when the US and Iran started attacking again. Oh, look at this. We just had our headlines update right there. New 50%, right? That wasn't here a second ago. Maybe I'm tripping. But new 50% US tariffs on Canadian goods threaten corporate costs. When it threatens corporate cost, what's that do? Corporate passes it down to you, the consumer. Yeah, oil's still moving higher. Let's see where oil's trading at right now. Dollar moving higher. Oil trying to move higher. Not looking too good here for gold. Want to be careful. Yeah, not for nothing, right? Somebody said he was looking for shorts on gold. Happy habits, man. If you take the shorts, be very careful. I do think that we're headed lower. I wanted to see this 40-45 area. But does that mean I want to take a short here? No, because I don't see a trade setup right here. Let's say you do have a trade setup. Let's say you are using a volume tool or you're using some type of analysis that says, okay, if we get an engulfing candle like this one, I could take it short. I'm not a big fan of this because it's still at the bottom of this current 5-minute range and we're extremely range bound. So that's why I would rather be the safe trader and say, I'll wait for the reaction to one of my zones. Because right now, if you're trading in the middle of nowhere, let's say we're waiting for zone A or zone B. And right in the middle, you're like, oh, well, we're getting some selling pressure. I'll short it targeting zone B without establishing zone A or B first. You're taking a risk. You're flipping a coin at that point. You're saying, I think we're going to hit B first, when in reality, we might reverse from here because we're still range bound and go head towards those highs and reject lower. So we want to be very, very careful when taking those middle of the area trades. We want to be very patient, very careful. That's why I went over yesterday too. Gold was giving us very similar price action where look at the gold all day. Gold all day was, oh, you tried to buy? You would have got stopped out on the pullback. You tried to short, would have got stopped out. Tried to buy, stopped out. Stop hunts all day long on gold. Why would we expect anything different without a strong report or strong headline, right? We're not. So expect that range. But guess what? That's why we trade and look at different assets. Different assets give us different and more opportunities. When we have more opportunities in the market, we're not so defined to, oh, I have to trade gold right now. I have to take a trade right now. That too, guys, you don't have to take a trade in anything. You could sit patient. Cash is a position. When was the last time you looked at the market? You came into the market to trade and you didn't take a single trade. Can you even answer that? Has there even been a day where you came into the market looking for your setup and you didn't see it, so you didn't trade? Or do you find yourself forcing trades on those days? When that's the case, you want to say, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because listen, every trader is different, right? Every trader has their own system, their own strategy, their own edge, but you have to be able to define and find when your edge isn't being shown in the market. When you see it isn't being shown, that's when you have confidence. I heard you mention 300 billion yesterday. 300 billion is coming from Gulf nations like Saudi to invest in their infrastructure. Not a dime is coming from the US. Are you talking about for the whole deal that we had going on? Possibly. We'll see. Obviously, you know what it is. That whole deal and that whole talk is off the table because things have escalated since then. So there will most likely be a new. And then he even said the MOU is off the table. So that's garbage. That's scrapped up. Yeah, the MOU. Yeah, they said it was off the table. We could take a look at market if we wanted to as well. We have 6 minutes, so we definitely can. Come over to our news feed. We could look up search, not search symbol. Search symbol's what it says, search symbol. We want to hit this search icon. We want to look up MOU. And we want to look up high impact. Let's see. So I was going to say MOU. It's going to give us a lot of mountain ones because mountain is spelled MOUNTAIN. But let's see if we could find the one. Here we go. I could have sworn Trump said it was off the table. We just got a little spike there. Markets are still not open. Trump MOU. Let's see if that comes up. Trump and Iran, we are going to take out pickaxe. Oh, nope. It says Iran MOU has failed test by Tehran, right? So it's failed. MOU was a test. They did not honor it, right? So it's over. This was 7 days ago. Right here. Retreat after Trump says Iran MOU is over. Is over. Trump says MOU is over. 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 Up and over and out. So MOU is out of here. No longer interested. We know that it's not on the table anymore. We also know escalations are somewhat trying to pick up. There we go, ES. I'm interested in seeing a reaction on the S&P 500 to 75.30. Let's take a look at market real quick. 75.30. We have 75.42 as a resistance point. That is way up here. So we'll see. We'll see how we want to range and how we want to trade. But yeah, just be a little patient. I'm not going to be jumping in this trade immediately. I will most likely be letting it come to us first. And what I mean by that is give me a reaction. Show me that there's actually an aggressive seller trying to step in. And what I mean by that is using a tool like order flow or something for that execution, for that recognition of that selling pressure. I'm going to have that on my left-hand side on my right-hand side over here. And also, of course, using volume profile, which is a free indicator. I should say free tool on TradingView. If you guys want to use this volume profile, on the left-hand side over here where your toolbar is, you're going to click the forecast tab, click the little arrow next to it, and then you come down to anchored volume profile. When you click that, you're going to want to set it to 6 p.m. Eastern. That is the fresh new futures market daily candle open. So just staying patient. We have about 3 minutes for the New York session to open. I think I got it right this time. But there you go. Gold continuing lower. So again, if you went short, forget where he is. But shorts, yep, happy habits. Are you in those shorts on gold still? And you know what it is too? I covered this like a week ago. If you take a short, let's say market bias was slightly bearish, right? So you see a big red candle and you're like, I got to short this. If you take random short positions or random long positions and it's not at your predetermined level and it doesn't play out, then guess what? You learn something. You say, okay, that was dumb of me to do. I shouldn't do that. But if it does play out, that is forcing and creating bad habits. That bad habit being taking random trades. Just received missile warnings alert on my phone. What kind of ceasefire? Oh man, missile alerts. Ibrahim, where are you from, brother? Be careful. Bro's gonna lose. He's gonna. We're gonna lose in midstream. Nah, be careful, homie. Let's see. Some headlines. Air raid sirens sound across Kuwait. Are you in Kuwait? That's crazy, man. Wild. Be careful. And we're getting a bullish reaction at the moment to that. So what I want to know is, are the markets pricing it in up here so we could sell off to that reaction at the New York Open at 1:30? I'm sorry, in a minute 30. From Baran, yo, be careful, man. Def off the table now. The fake news spun it like the U.S. was going to give $300 billion. MOU stated if Iran played nice over a period of time, then the U.S. would allow Gulf nations to invest in Iran. Very cool. Very cool. Yo, catch me if you can. Good knowing the truth behind that, right? It's good to be able to recognize. And it's funny, went over last session, how Democrats and Republicans, back even when Obama was running, right? Obama and Kane, they had a professional relationship. They didn't get on and start dissing each other and talking crap about each other. They had difference of a policy. We're adults. We can have difference of opinion. That's perfectly fine. But we have to also be able to recognize as adults the difference between right and wrong. And that's sort of where I feel like that line in the sand has really sort of been scattered and is sort of blurry at this point. But yeah, no, 100%. That's cool, man. That's very cool. But hey, listen, it's off the table now, so now we'll wait and see what the next reaction is. 18 seconds for the New York session to open. Love from Iran. We are united here in the market in the morning. Yes, sir. We absolutely are, man. We absolutely are. 9 seconds, New York session to open. Let's see. I'm seeing sellers above at 73, 75.32. I'll tell you guys, if I take a trade, I'd be looking for 75.30, stop near 75.34. But we'll see how we react first. If we blow right through it with aggressive buying volume like we're trying to right now, no trade, we start to see some reaction, then possibly. But right now there is good buying up here. So be patient, be careful, wait for that reaction. Look at that perfect immediate reaction so far. I do want to turn this from dotted to solid so we can see it a bit more clearly. Wow, fast reaction there. I'm definitely thinking of entering here off that reaction with stop at those highs, but I do want to be a little careful. I don't want to be first buyer, first seller type of deal, you know? So we could wait, give it a moment. Hey, look at that, man. Love from everywhere. Love from everywhere. Yo, look at that reaction, man. ES said, yeah, I'll hit your level, and then dump. No entry for you. That is all right. We're staying patient. We're waiting. I'm sure it'll give us another setup. Guys, if you miss your entry, we had the setup. I was looking for a sweep of this 75, 30, 25. We tapped it. Triple top right here. So we just wait now. We wait. We see if we can possibly pull back. Look for a new short entry. Look to see how this 5 minute wants to close. Whatever the case may be. But I did mention in pre-market that a lot of times that first move we get is the fake out. So let's just wait and see. I do want to see a possible pullback near 70, say 75.20, 75.24 becomes a new area of interest, 20 to 24. Let's see. 20 to 24. Right over here. Possibility for shorts right there. Possibility. Reason I say possibility is because I want to see how this current 5 minute closes. If it does close more in our favor, then great. It is more of a trade on this pullback. If not, then I want to wait. Bro, nah, Nolab does not abandon ship, bro. He is like Michael Saylor, except that Nolab is much more successful and didn't invest too much money into Bitcoin. Nah, Nolab he's on vacation, man. Let Nil chill. Let Nil chill. But really great stuff. Really great stuff. He deserves it. He's a hard worker. He comes into this market in the morning session with us like every other day. Very cool to have him when he joins. Great analysis and great breakdown by him. We are running into a little bit of support here on the ES. So again, I wouldn't short these lows. Be patient. We have 2 minutes left for this 5 minute. Guys, that's plenty of time for this to wick all the way back up here. That's only 13 points on the ES. That's an easy ES move. Possibly looking, like I said, for 75.20, but I'd want to see us break below the 75.15 first, then pull back to that 75.20. Bit of a low volume shelf right there. So that's one of my trade setups that I like to look for. There's that break of 75.15. That's a good sign. So now I do want to see a pullback into that range. Let's see. Yeah, huge drop from that point. Guys, if anybody caught this short at the high, kudos and congratulations. Phenomenal. I did not take that. I did not get filled up there. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But we had right buys today, yesterday. We're killing it. This is how we start the week. Gold, look at that. Imagine you were short. You'd be like, damn, look at that. I'm in the money. And then boom, right back to break even. Dude, ES is like, yeah, I'll see you later. See ya. Waiting for a pullback to go short. Looking for 75.22 area for a short position on ES with this current 5 minute giving us a stronger close bearish. We have 45 seconds left. If we do wick back into that range and we close with a longer lower wick right now, no trade. I'm not forcing anything. We're letting markets come to us and we're being realistic with markets. Markets being selfish. Right? This range bound price action's crazy. Let's see. What else do we have? Anything else of significance? Okay. So yeah, we'll see. We're coming back to that 20 area. I mentioned that I did not want to see the retest of that 20 area on this current 5 minute, and we are unfortunately getting that. 3 seconds to close. I'm going to give it a go in this 75.20 area. Stop loss near 75.23. Just a very small, light trade. If it stops out, it stops out. Risking very little on this. because I'm looking to possibly add if it plays in our favor, and if it stops out, I'm looking for just a paper cut on that trade, but we shall see. Hopefully it does give us that pullback one more time towards that 75.20. Take a look at the 15-minute time frame here, 30-minute. I will say 15, I really want to see us below this range right there. The reason I want to see us below this range right here is because that's our last little area of like an order block, little area of support. All right, so that filled me short. We just pulled back. That got me filled in the short. Stop loss is at 24. So if it's a quick right to stop loss, it is what it is. I will look for a re-entry and a new possible trade setup. But again, it is what it, yeah, look at that, right to stop. It was a low probability. It happens. It's going to happen sometimes. That's why we have risk management. I said I'm risking very light on this for a reason. Now this area we're in could still be an area to sell, right? A lot of sellers stepped in over here before. I wouldn't be completely against shorting again, but I'd want to be very patient. Previous day high entry for gold still in play. We'll see. We'll definitely see on that. Let's see. Yeah, previous day high in gold 40.45, 40.40 on XAU. No, yeah, I think ES just stopped me out before it continues. NVIDIA is trying to hold a key level right now. Do want to be a little patient on that, but yeah, ES is like, I'll see you later. Thanks for the exit liquidity. Let's see. Oof, look at that, man. Look at that. No way. That's really funny, man. Listen, it happens to everybody, guys. It happens. Absolutely happens, especially because New York session just opened. Let it play out. Let it come to us. That's crazy, though. I do think, yeah, selling pressure starting to pick up on NVIDIA a little bit here, too. NVIDIA's at that key level. I don't know if you guys remember, but NVIDIA had a super strong key level at 206 that we respected as support, then resistance. We are currently above it. If NVIDIA can get below that level, that would be great. But damn, man, ES really ticked me out of that trade. That's funny. Listen, man, all we can do is laugh about it, you know? It happens. That's why risk management's so important. I'm not freaking out about it. I didn't blow my account in one trade. Like, that's poor risk management. We have proper risk management. So we can wait for the next setup. Let's see. NVIDIA's holding that level, like I mentioned. So is Microsoft. SpaceX is trying to hold too. Let's see. My opinion, you won here. Yeah, bro, gotta be disciplined, man. Gotta be disciplined. If we're not disciplined, what are we? What are we doing if we're not being disciplined? We're FOMOing. That's what we're doing. If it continues, I'm going to look for a re-entry. I'm going to look for another setup. NASDAQ, look how much stronger NASDAQ is here. Look at that. Look at that. That's a big sign to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we should be a bit more patient on ES right now. Maybe we shouldn't jump the gun so quick. We know bias is still slightly bullish, so let's just wait. We are wicking into this zone, so we're not closing into it. That's a sign for the buyers right there. So again, follow discipline, did the right thing. I'd want to see VIX is in an area where it's like, okay, look, VIX is in a rock and a hard place. Can VIX come and find resistance and move lower from here, which would cause ES to move higher? Or does VIX come down here and move higher from there, which would have ES move lower? ES does look like it's trying to find a bit of support here. Let's see. But that doesn't mean, just because we're finding a bit of support doesn't mean I want to take a random long position here. It just means I'm acknowledging what price is doing right now. Because you see that? Boom, we dropped right away. Give it that 13 seconds to close right there. Why would we force anything when there's 13 seconds to close in the 5-minute? That 5-minute close is going to give us a lot of a stronger read on the market. There we go. See that selling pressure stepping in that last second of that 5. That looks much better to the downside now. Now let's see. But we got to see NASDAQ start to drop from here. If we can get the NASDAQ to sell off, weighted index to sell off, that will definitely help these ES shorts. There we go. Getting a bit of a move. That's what I like to see. Had a nice little re-entry on that drop. Great. I will look to just scalp it, though. I don't know how much I want to trust this move. But let's see if we can make our way. Oh, no, we found that other 15-minute resistance. Let's see if we get one more drop here. I'll look to get out. It's dancing right now. NVIDIA trying to drop. NASDAQ, get down there, man. There we go. I'm going to exit. Nice little scalp there. Just made back the loss, right? Made back the loss because I was patient enough to execute that. So let's just wait. I'm seeing some selling pressure on the S&P. I'm seeing the VIX moving higher, but now VIX is at a key level. So I want to be careful that ES doesn't try to reverse here while VIX tries to reverse here. Let's see. And we're at VWAP. So we are at a lot of support right now. So I am actually, believe it or not, I am looking to see if ES can reverse. If ES holds this zone right here, I'm looking for ES to reverse. If it fails, then we're going to be looking for the continuation of the downside. Let's see, we have 324 left on the 5-minute. We had very significant selling pressure at these lows, but Google's finding support. Microsoft is dropping again here too. Just wait. Wait. US 30 above, buys above 52,373. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Look at these sellers. US 30. Oof, where 52,373. Yeah, above there for sure, but not right now. Definitely not right now. Let's see. Looking for possible reversal off this zone. 237 left here on the 5-minute. But we know that selling pressure was pretty hefty. VIX new high of day with ES new low of day in the New York session. Does confirm downtrend. So stay patient. Again, we break this zone, and guess what? I'm looking for a retest to go short. We hold this zone, and I'm looking for longs to hold this, knowing that VIX is also at an area that it was trying to reverse at. You're staying patient. We have 212 left in this 5-minute. No reason to be jumping in a trade right now. We don't want to catch a falling knife, but I am interested in possibly finding support down here. But it is still notching lower and lower. So we'd want to see that VIX start to reverse. ES find a little support here too. And yeah, we'll see. I'll let you guys know if I take anything. There's a bit of a buyer stepping in this zone. So again, if I'm looking for a trade out of this area without breaking it, the trade has to be a long position, right? We have to be trading the range, so it would have to be a long position. That's what I'm looking for out of this zone. 1:20 left. I want to see this 5-minute close above this range. I'm going to make this range green for us. And guess what? We close above the range. Great. We can look for longs. We close back below the range. Great. We look for shorts. That's it, man. We found our level. We found the zone. We found what we're looking at. Trying to hold right now. Great, but it's struggling. I know sellers are strong, but I also know VIX is at a very strong key level to possibly reverse lower in the VIX, which would lead to the ES moving higher. So just be very patient. But there's some selling. Let's see. Do these sellers take it down a notch? 75.05, passive buyer down there. That's our pre-market low right there too. So we could sweep that in reverse. Just be patient. Be patient. What do we got? 39 seconds left on this 5-minute. We are running out of time. XAU tapping. Nice. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Gold pushing lower, trying to find that previous day high on gold. That's what we like to see. Yes, also still trying to find support down here. But like I said, 20 seconds left. We're running out of time. We would have to rally straight up for these last 17 seconds. Because if we close into this zone, I'm expecting continuation of the downside. 7 seconds, 5 seconds. Gold tapping. Gold's getting close to that previous day high. That's a great pullback. ES, man, just keep dropping. Possible shorts off of 12. 75.12. Reason for that is we have a bit of a significant low volume area right there. 75.12. Take a look at the 1 minute. 75.12, right? Like a sweep of this recent high right there. Sweep of that high, rejects back lower. Sellers mean business right now. Let's take a look at a higher time frame, bit of an idea. Ray W on the short though. Yo, good job, Luke. There you go, guys. That's too. Just because I stopped out, right? I got stopped out up here doesn't mean you guys have to get stopped out. You guys manage your trades yourself, right? If you're like, yo, Kevin, that's a great trade setup, I'm gonna take that, and you bank on it, and I'm like, oh, I got stopped out of it. Yo, W's to you. W's to me for helping you guys find the right setup, but W's to you for actually taking and executing it properly. NVIDIA, a little bit of weakness. Take a look at our equities for a moment. We see that SpaceX is moving higher, barely. NVIDIA is trying to hold that key level. Apple's moving lower. Microsoft is struggling. Meta's struggling. Google's struggling. These are all good signs for the shorts. I love trading New York, even in Australia. That's cool. Thanks, Kevin. Even I banked that. I don't trade. Oh, yo, let's go, bro. That's awesome. That's cool to hear. So you're telling me everybody just made money off of my shorts except for me? All right, guys. I get it. That's awesome. That is great. Let's see. NASDAQ pushing lower too, helping the ES try to drop. Gold struggling on this drop too. We were looking for a pullback area on gold. ES does, I don't know, man. I really want to see that 75.11, 75.13 area on ES, but it might not budge. I'm with you, took a hit. Now, I don't want to know that you guys took a loss on it. No, I'm just kidding. But listen, it's all about execution. It's all about risk management. Don't take a trade if you can't take the loss. You did better mathematically. We just got lucky. That's great. Bro, these sellers look like they're ready to dump right here, man. What's NASDAQ doing? NASDAQ dumping too. Oh, this is not the right chart. There's that break below that low. That's a good sign. NASDAQ's coming near a key area of support. I do want to be very careful there. I am looking for a pullback at some point. Here's that 75.05. I mentioned 75.05 for a possible reaction to the ES. Hey, Kev, is there a schedule for the lives? Yeah, so the schedule goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8:20 to 10:30. 8:20 to 10:30. Every day, baby. Every day we're live on here. You guys join me live every day for market in the morning. And of course, I usually do have guests with me. I usually have Nalab with me. Nalab, though, does have some stuff to take care of. He's on a little vacay himself, which he deserves. Everybody deserves a little break, but that guy busts his butt and definitely deserves it. All right, here's that ES pullback I was looking for. Just waiting. There's that 12. Now, I don't want to take a quick re-entry just to get stopped out again. So I will be a little more patient this time. Wait for a more significant reaction and then take it. Okay, so I will take that there. Stop loss wise. And guys, guess what? I could take 2 losses and then just be like, all right, I'm done for the day. Forget it. But I'm looking for 75.16 to possibly hold on ES here to the downside. Got to remember we did sweep low. We're trying to reverse, but I do see this as just a pullback right now. But listen, man, I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. Yes, sir. Every day with Market Wizard, Mr. Kevin. You already know, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or we banked yesterday, so as long as we ain't giving yesterday's profits back, we're cool. It's no problemo. 75.15.25 is my current stop loss on this. And again, same situation where it's like if it runs up to it, then sure, whatever. I'm just going to look for another trade. Ooh, I don't like that 5 minute. I really don't like how that 5 minute closed outside of that zone. That is definitely not good on these shorts. Be careful. If you're not in this trade, don't take this trade. Yeah, I might manually stop out. This is not looking good on those shorts. Yeah, forget that. See that? Listen, sometimes markets give us a little bit of a harder read. I was able to note those shorts up here. Great. We swept this low and we reversed. It is what it is. Just got to wait now. I'll take a re-entry if it presents itself, but I'm not going to do anything silly. SpaceX is flying right now. Yo, I wonder if that was another stop hunt of mine. If markets were like, all right, perfect. We got him. We got him. Go, go, go. No, I'm just kidding. I do think we're trying to hold that support area, unfortunately. So I'd want to see a very fast reaction to the downside. If we don't get that, then I do think that we are headed higher. But if we do get that, I think we grab a quick little short entry here, stop near that 15 again, and try it one more time. Don't be afraid to re-enter trades if it's presenting itself, but also be able to recognize when it doesn't play out and when to size down. NVIDIA getting weak again. That's a great sign for these shorts. Take a look at our weighted index here. NVIDIA did reject off of that area of support, unfortunately. I'm sorry, NASDAQ, I should say. So I do want to be very careful, like I mentioned. Let's see. VIX is trying to reverse back to the downside now, right? So we know that that's a bit more of a bullish sentiment. We want to be very careful off that VIX. Again, I might even try to reverse this and go long off of this zone, but I'd much rather try to keep this short bias. There we go. There we go. Give us a little print right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Nice quick little move right there. Scale out of some to lock in profit. Love to see it. Wow, I'm glad I locked in profit. Just let it play out. Let it play out. If it starts to reverse here again, I could possibly, yeah, I sort of like these longs. I'm not gonna lie. Those longs look okay off that ES finding support, NASDAQ finding resistance. I'm sorry, NASDAQ also finding support. We had a lot of support building up down here. And we know we're a bit more range bound in the price action lately. We know our bias is more slightly bullish. So I am looking for longs off this, right? So I'm able to flip my bias like that depending on what markets are giving me. It doesn't mean we should always be flipping bias, but it means we should be listening to what the market is telling us. Happy birthday, Kevin. Bro, every day is my birthday when I'm here with you guys on Market in the Morning. Birthday's in April, though. Let's see. Just me. I enjoy no guests. Just Kevin doing play-by-play on real live market data. Hey, I appreciate that, brother. Absolutely. Yo, I enjoy doing it. So it's a win-win right there. I tell you guys all the time too, I'm not just a teacher, not just a streamer, but I'm a teacher. I do education. I do one-on-one sessions, help people find their style, find their edge in the market. I'm always happy to help you guys. Find me on social media. You guys could look up my name. It's right over. You guys see it. It's in there. Kevin Dubrisky. You guys could look up that name. It'll pull up my website, pull up my social medias, everything you need to know about me. Beautiful reversal on the ES right there. Beautiful. Glad I flipped bias. That is amazing. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let this 5 close. We got a minute 5 left. Getting some buying pressure up here. Want to see a little follow through. Great. SpaceX is flying right now. NVIDIA is unfortunately struggling. Want to see some follow through. Weighted index looks like it's trying to hold up. 75.17 is the next area on ES that we should be headed towards right now. Kevin is the GOAT, so humble. Hey, I appreciate that, man. We got to stay humble in this life. If you don't stay humble, something's going to humble you. All right, we got 30 seconds left in this 5-minute. I really want to see it close above this range right here. If we don't close above that range, I do want to be a little extra careful on any position, long or short. NASDAQ did just take a hit. NVIDIA is starting to dump here. You want to be a little extra careful on that. 12 seconds left in this 5-minute. If we could start pumping here. Apple and NVIDIA are dumping. Every other equity is trying to hold right now. If Apple and NVIDIA can turn back around, great. If not, we're going to really struggle on this. I do like that we closed back outside this zone Could possibly look to see if this is a retest, but I do want to try to hold these longs that I switched in 75.10 to target back to those highs. There we go. That's what I like to see. Beautiful. Come on now. 75.17 incoming. Struggling. Bro, I'm telling you, it's that NVIDIA and Apple that's making us struggle right now. Hate to see it. We usually love to see things. We hate to see that. NVIDIA's dumping, man. Yep, ES is going to feel it. NASDAQ's going to feel it. Come on, NVIDIA, get back up there. Google, you get back up there too. Apple's trying to turn back around, but NVIDIA's holding bearish. I will keep stop on this around 75, like 06, 75, 08-ish. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. But just be patient. Let markets come to us. Don't force anything. Know where your stop is. Know what your analysis is telling you. Let's see. SpaceX is rallying. Microsoft is rallying. Meta's taking a bit of a hit right now. And what else we got? Google is struggling right now. I want to see Google start pushing higher too. Definitely seeing those sellers trying to step in on the ES right here. Be careful. Be patient. VIX is at a key level. Remember, we're looking for VIX to reverse back lower, which would lead to the ES reversing back higher. So we do have that confirmation, but looking at the selling pressure, yeah, it's definitely struggling. Does look like we're trying to make those lows on ES. 75.07 over here is where my current stop loss is. And if it stops out, it stops out. We look for the next trade setup, but right now we're still holding above this zone for the most part. I don't want to get shaken out over here just for it to wick up and start moving in my favor, right? We don't want to be chickens in the market. We want to be traders in the market. And if it stops out, it stops out. It's what risk management's for. Getting a big seller coming in here, but these sellers keep trying to get absorbed, which is a good thing. However, SpaceX took a turn. NVIDIA is still pushing lower. Too many bearish signs right here. I'm a little concerned, but we're just going to give it a moment. We're letting it react off of our level that we had predetermined, and also the fundamentals were telling us slightly bullish too, and we could even double check on that real quick right now too. Yes. Make sure it's just still slightly bullish. It is. Okay, so we just wait on this. We let it play out, and if it fails, it fails. If it holds, it holds. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That didn't rhyme. Poor price action in gold. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, look at gold, man. That's why it's a no trade zone. Unless we're at our area that we were looking for, it's a no trade zone. So good work on that. Good patience on that. Good discipline on that, guys. Really good work. Good work. Listen, you gotta be able to tell yourself, I did a good job by not taking a trade, because that is a good job. That you're doing something that 90% of traders can't do. You did not take a trade. That's huge. Apple pushing higher, Microsoft, Meta pushing lower, Google struggling, NVIDIA pushing lower. Too many equities trying to drop here. If those can turn around, ES can turn around. It's going to be a much cleaner move to the upside. Without any of that going on, we are probably going to chop our way to new low of day again. Just a heads up, guys. NVIDIA dropping even lower here. Yep, just wait. A minute 12 left in this 5 minute. How much? We got 15-minute closes in. Ooh, a minute 15 too. And that 15-minute was very bearish. So I do want to be very careful with that. Opening range breakout wise, we did wick the low and close back within the range. So we would be looking for a double break at this point, which would target the 75.30. So that is what I'm looking for. But again, just a matter of staying patient, letting markets come to us, seeing the read on the market, if it's in our favor or not. 50 seconds left. Want to see us try to hold above this zone again, even possibly start to push bullish on this candle. Weighted index needs to start pushing bullish. There we go. I said it and it did it. And we need to hit 7,600 on ES right now. We just need a quick 500-point rally while we're in the trade. That's it. We're not asking for much. Let's see. There we go, guys. There we go. Buyers are holding that zone still. Love to see it. That's why we know when to trade which assets. Gold is choppy. ES, we caught the shorts. We reversed our buys. Once we saw the reaction to the lows, we are in the longs. Now we wait. Definitely considering getting out of some up here, but I do want to try to let it go towards that opening range breakout double break. Apple's flying right now. Meta held VWAP, which is great. Nice little move there. I want to see some continuation on this candle. There we go. There we go. Give me a big pop. Give me a huge spike. If it gives us a quick run to 75.23, I'm going to get out. Or even 75.30. There we go. There we go, guys. Big buyers stepping in here. Let's get that break. Yes, sir. W's in the chat. W's in the chat, baby. W's in the chat, baby. You already know. Bang, bang, bang. Guys, look at that. ES reversal off of zone. VIX reversal off of zone. What more do you guys want from me? Amazing, 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 amazing. I will look to possibly get out of a couple contracts up here into strength. Real clean move. W's, man. Played ES on both sides. If you ask Chief Keef, he don't like playing both sides. We're traders. We like playing both sides. Aggressive buying, man. I want to see some follow through up here. NVIDIA is below that key level, that 206, though, so that could try to hold as resistance. See if we get one more rally here. I want to try to get out at 75.25. 75.25. Definitely struggling over here. I want to be a little careful. We do have more buying than selling at this point. That slightly bullish bias, man, that was a nice read on market. Love to see that. Give us one more quick run up. Let's go right to take profit, 75.30, and we'll call it a day. Markets are like, oh, word, you want 75.30? Got you, 75.21 reversal. Be patient, man. Be patient. I wish gold moved like this too. I fell asleep trading gold. That's funny. Yeah, man. Perfect read. Yes, sir, bro. It's my pleasure. I'm always happy to help you guys. Help you guys and trade myself, man. Making some money here. We're doing it right. Not a fan of the struggle we're seeing, but I do like the spike that we had from this zone. So again, I'd like to target 75.23 as possible first take profit level. It's very close to that. NVIDIA is still pushing lower. SpaceX moving higher. Google's pushing lower. Meta's pushing higher. Apple's pushing higher. Microsoft's pushing higher. So I would like to see 75.32 is a great full take profit up here. I'll show you guys position-wise, entry-wise, and stop-loss-wise. That's where we're at. Looking to try to hold the first TP. Just waiting right now. Definitely don't want to let this winner turn into a loser too, though, so we do want to be a little careful on this hold. 15-minute time frame closed more bullish, which is a good sign. 30-minute time frame gave us a bit of a rejection candle, but was a bit more bearish on the 30. Hourly, ooh, not a fan of that hourly. Gave us a reversal candle too to the downside. So I do want to be very, very careful that this isn't a reversal now. So be patient, be careful. Moving stops up a little bit. That's also why I'm a big fan of scaling out of positions, having multiple take profit levels. I'll move stop loss to 75.08. So very close. Entry was 75.11. 75.08 is new stop loss. Holding VWAP right now. Out at stop. Nice. How to bridge analysis to execution gap. Map 3 scenarios, yet still losing every trade. Risk management was truly kept my account alive, but the loss rate is increased with better analysis. So loss rate increased with better analysis is an interesting take, because better analysis obviously should lead to a stronger win-loss rate. However, if you do find that you are struggling with that, and it's most definitely an execution thing. Ask yourself, are you entering too early? Are you entering too late? I do want to get out of this ES trade. NVIDIA is just dumping like it's hot right now. So I want to see if we can get out towards like 75.18. But yeah, are you entering too early? Are you entering too late? Obviously you're not going too heavy in size because you said your risk management is what's keeping your account alive, but what else could it be, right? You want to be able to ask yourself and answer these questions. What is it that's keeping yourself taking more losses? Because better analysis isn't going to make you lose more. But are you marrying the bias? Maybe you're getting too attached to the bias. If market says slightly bullish, we took a short off the open and that played out, but then we took a long off of our key level and that's playing out too. So it's really also a matter of like how are you executing your trades? Are you executing them properly? Are you forcing trades? What's the case there? Are you taking too many trades? What time frame are you trading on? That too is another great question to ask yourself. Come on, ES, let's get going now. Stop messing around. It definitely doesn't. It unfortunately does look like we're trying to reverse from here. I'll move stop loss up a couple more ticks. 75.08, 75. I want NQ to dump. Kevin, can you make that? No, we don't want NQ to dump. We're long in the ES right now. Elisa, come on. You're voting against us? They don't want to see you win. If we get a breakout higher here on ES, we should be clean for a run up. Held VWAP again right there on ES. We're again struggling though at these highs. NVIDIA trying to turn around, which should help give us some support here too. NASDAQ at a key area too, which is supporting on NQ, which again would help support ES. There's that push up. Come on, ES. Run that, baby. Run that. There's 719. There's 720. 7520. So close. A tick away. Bro, scale that 7520 and we're good. Scale that 7520 and we're good. If not, I am looking to get out up here at 7519. Yeah, we're struggling on that 7519. Giving it one moment here. Need Apple to turn around. Apple's still struggling. 7519 again. There we go. 7520. Great. Scaled above 7520. Struggling on that 7520. Not a fan. Nah, not a fan at all. Let's see. I want to try to move stop loss to 75.12, but I feel like that could be swept very quickly. I'll move it up ever so slightly. Yeah, it's 75.12. Looks like it's ready. Ah, lame. Lame markets, lame. It's all Lisa's fault. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Come on, ES, you know you want higher. Are we winning? Mel, we're not winning. We need you. Well, we actually are winning. We're doing very well. We're in some longs on ES right now. We took shorts on ES off the open. Now we're in some longs on ES off of the support zone. So we are winning. Currently in gold buys, collecting 1 to 3.5 R. Good job. Well done. Well done. Good work, Mel. Mel, I'll send you the link. Get on right now. Come join. Nah, but let me know if you want to hop on sometime this week. Our homies Jeev and Nalab are busy this week, so we'll have some extra days. Minute 50 left in this 5 minute. Definitely struggling on ES to move higher. Apple just started rallying. That's a good sign for these buys. I'm staying patient. Something I will note for the past 3 5-minute candles is we would struggle the entire time, and then for the last minute, we would start to rally. I have my stop loss pretty tight though now, 75.12. If it just dumps from here, I'm going to get out. Not a big fan of that. Let's see. My analysis says usually happens just a few day sessions later. Can't enter on Monday, hold for days. Slow grind to my stop, clear liquidity grab to my entry zone, then trade goes my way by Wednesday. So almost like a too early on the entry. Am I hearing that right? Like possibly too early on your trade entry? All right, 50 seconds left. Let's see if we rally for these last 50 seconds. NVIDIA's still weak. Google's trying to hold. Meta's holding. Microsoft's holding. Apple's holding. Everything's holding except for NVIDIA. Bro, I'm gonna march down there to NVIDIA right now and tell them to start buying back their shares in the billions. They said they were going to. Just buy it all right now. Let's rally this thing. 27 seconds left. Unfortunately, not looking ideal on the longs. NAS liquidity sweep could get. Oh, yeah, look at that. NAS made new low of day. ES did not make that new low of day. But it is trying. That weakness in NASDAQ's definitely bringing ES lower with us. Want to see buyers step in here. This is their last chance on buyers on that 5-minute. Yeah, not a fan of that at all. I will look to see if we get one more rally towards 75.19, and I will look to get out of this. I'll probably get out of a majority. I'm just, I'm light size, man. I'm just in 5 micros. I don't want to go crazy on this. Equities trying their best to keep rallying. It's really Nvidia that's holding us down right now. I am okay. I am. Oh, yeah, it's coming near stop. Be careful. 75.12. All right, it just tapped my stop loss, wicked into it. I did move it up, so it is what it is. I'm not grabbing shorts right now. I would be more interested in shorts on NQ, but we'll see. We'll see. The reason I'd rather be short NQ is because of that strength in Nvidia to the downside right now. Whereas ES is still somewhat holding support. I do think this ES long could still try to play out, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take it again. Not with NASDAQ just cracking lower and lower with Nvidia. NASDAQ is at VWAP. It did break a recent low, though. Missed gold by $2. Oh, no. What's gold doing? Oh, man. Gold was so close. Listen, still no trade zone. We could still pull back to that level. Nvidia trying to hold. ES trying to hold VWAP still. I mean, just a matter of being patient, guys. Watch NASDAQ rally, ES rally continuation. SpaceX getting weak. Google's sort of weak here. Whew, look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. Tell me I got out too early on ES again. That's just the way the cookie's crumbling today, guys, for myself. Right? Your entries, your execution is all up to you. We knew the bias is still slightly bullish on ES and NQ. But we also know from the price action we've been seeing so far, markets have been struggling. Got to get Nvidia back to the downside here. It's pulling back right now to the upside. I want to see Nvidia get crushed. Wait in. Okay, Nvidia, you're going to keep pumping now? Meta's selling off, Google's weak. Nvidia's holding, SpaceX is holding. Just waiting right now, guys. Just waiting. I'd want to see a stronger dive on NASDAQ to the downside. I'd be more interested in NASDAQ shorts or ES long. So now I'm sort of entering a rock and a hard place scenario on ES and NQ where I can make a debate for both sides, right? When that's the case, we really want to stay patient and only take those high probability setups we have versus trying to guess which side is right. See that? Boom, there's those buyers holding. Gold flying right there. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that was a few points away. 40. We were looking for 40, 45. It hit 40, 48. 40, 48. Let's see. Mel killed it on that gold entry. Good job. Great job. Well done. ES holding, unfortunately. Again, I'm out of that trade. You guys could be in that trade. I got too aggressive on my stop loss. Stopped out for profit. It is what it is. VIX still moving lower. I do think buys have more control right now, as they are clearly showing they do. Oh, man. Oh, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. We're human. I'm human. It happens. I should have kept it at 08, though. I should have kept it at 08. I don't know why I moved it to 75.12. NASDAQ, what a rip back to the upside on NASDAQ. I do think ES wants at 75.30. New stop loss now would be 75.12 on ES. So if we get a pullback, great. I'll look for a re-entry. If we don't, I'm not forcing it. No way. NVIDIA trying to hold. Look at that, man. I'm telling you, sellers and buyers, such a battle right here. An absolute battle. NASDAQ wants lower, ES wants higher. NASDAQ has a big hold on the ES, so obviously ES is going to have those reactions. Big seller stepping in here on ES. I'd like to see us try to turn around from here. It's a good pullback. This could be a great entry if we hold above 75.12. Oh, we just tapped it. Just tapped it. Look at that. Those sellers, man. That's why we ain't trying. Kev, I checked a few lives on the way into this one. You're the only one giving out the winning entries. There we go. That's it. That's it. ES tapped VWAP. Huge volume just entered the market there on ES2. A lot of selling pressure hit equities right now. Kevin for the win. You already know it, baby. It's the whole team, guys. We're a team effort right here. Market in the morning ain't just me. It's not just in the lab. It's not just market. It's everybody. Community. ES is tapping that zone again. So it's like this isn't the worst spot for a possible pullback long entry. But after the reactions we've been seeing, I don't know, man. Definitely not convincing. That's for sure. If we get a strong pump above 75.14, that would be ideal for the buyers. Right now, we're at the bottom of our current 5-minute range, so we wouldn't want to go short either. Remember that. Wouldn't want to go short, wouldn't want to go long, would want to let markets come to us and play out. Remember, the hourly, I said, could possibly be a reversal candle to the downside, so I want to be extra patient. If we start breaking lower, we break this green zone I had, guess what? I'm looking for continuation on the hourly. I'm able to look for that continuation. We hold, we're still bullish, then great. We're looking to go long, and that's it. Nice rip right there. See if we get a clean run up towards that 75.23 again. That was absolutely bazonkers. Wow, look at that rip right up. Bang, huge. NVIDIA pushing higher, SpaceX pushing higher, Microsoft holding a key level. A lot of good signs here for the buyers. I want to see continuation of the upside after that huge liquidity sweep. Look at that major wick to the downside we just created. I've heard a major wick, but did you hear about general trend line? But guys, huge. What a rally. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's crazy, man. Do we want to keep running towards 23? Wow, let's go. Huge. Go, go, go. Go markets, go markets, go. Wow, that was a great pullback area. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy my jokes as much as I enjoy making them, as silly as they are. Bang, guys, huge. Let's go, ES. Wow, that's wild. That is wild, child. If you're in the longs, I would definitely look to try to get out soon. I feel like we are going to start to run out of buying pressure up here. It's a very strong, aggressive move higher. And we see that those big aggressive moves have been failing lately, failing to have follow through. So be a little careful here. Trying to let it play out myself. I did re-enter longs on the pullback once we held 75.13. But just be patient. I do think we pull back here. Want to see a straight rally from here. That would be huge. That'd be massive. 75.30. That's those pre-market highs and that opening range double break level. Four seconds in this 1 minute. and this 5-minute. Both of them are closing bullish. Let's see if we get some continuation, and we do, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sirski. Look to get out into some strength. That was crazy, man. So much volume in NQ. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, NQ's got a lot of volume right now. Good call, Lisa. Absolutely. There we go, ES. Come on, 75.30. Quick little runs of 75.30, and we're good for the day. NVIDIA trying to hold up. Equity struggling a little bit here. Do want to be a little careful on that aspect. And we are in that 75.23 area that I mentioned earlier. So just want to be a little careful here. All right, getting out on that pullback. Nice little moves. Good patience. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. And it could continue. I'm locking in. Took it from 13 to 23. Quick little move. Nothing crazy. I'm not looking to be in a trend trade right now when markets are clearly showing us there is no trend trade to trade right now. We know we're slightly bullish, but we also know price action has been extremely range bound. VIX is also coming near a key area that I would want to see price reverse. So if I'm looking for price to reverse to the downside I'm looking for price to reverse to the upside on the VIX. I'm looking for that price to reverse to the downside on ES and NQ. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, man, run that like button up. I feel like we've been light on the likes lately, and bring your friends here, guys. Make sure you share with your friends. Bring your friends into market in the morning. Absolutely love to have everybody in here. Share some insights. Share some killer trades as well. You guys already know the vibes. It's how we do. Let's see. Equity's taking a big hit right now. ES does not care, and it's trying to hold up again. We're not taking longs in the middle of nowhere. We know that we're coming near an area of resistance, so we're staying patient. VIX took a turn to the upside right now. 230 left in the 5-minute. Does look like we're trying to continue towards that 75.30. Let's see. Let's see, guys. Let's give it a moment here. And guess what, guys? What time is it? It is 10:23. We could let this candle close. Let the 30 close. Let the 15 close. It will give you more insight if you let a higher time frame candle close. Market Cozy, I wanted to cover your question again. You were talking about how you feel like your analysis is getting more accurate, but your losing rate is moving higher, which is not a good thing. So early in most cases is the same cycle. My entry zone will be correct, but it's like I'm entering on the move before the move. Waiting has me taking continuation trades in New York, but I miss main move. So something else you might want to do. What would happen if you sized down in your trade, right? Now, I know you said you already sized down. Your sizing's good. But what if you sized down in the trade and moved your stop loss wider? Would that protect you from getting stopped out? Are you getting stopped out for a loss, or are you getting out too early? What else? You know, if you're getting continuation, great. I know some people do want that. Excuse me. I know some people do want that full move, but when we're looking at the markets, we want to be realistic and we want to be able to have that follow through. Right. And we want a piece of the pie. We don't want the whole cake. If you want that whole cake, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a bad time. The meme. I forget what that's from. If you're going to do this, you're going to have, oh my God, that's going to kill me. Dropping gems, always dropping gems, man. That's why I say to you guys, share it. Listen, share it with your friends. Share it with people who are in other communities. You ain't got to, you could be in other communities and enjoy market in the morning. It's also why we go live at 8:20. So we're not stepping on anybody else's toes there. That's literally what I'm trying today, Kev. Thanks. Stop a little bit wider, still structurally correct. Good. Lower risk to allow me more breathing room. There you go. Good. You're gonna get diabetes with the whole cake. That's great. You're right. We don't want that. All right, 5 minutes left here, guys, for that 15 to close, for that 30 to close. ES does look like it's trying to squeeze up towards that 75.30. NVIDIA holding lower, Microsoft, a lot of the other equities are trying to hold higher right now. I just can't go long because we're going into a resistance point. However, I would want to go long targeting that 75.30. So here's a bit of a breakout here. Without any volume, we're not going anywhere. And a little bit of a move. Here's some volume. That's some volume right there. Beautiful. Bang, pop. Quick run, 75.30, and I'm right on out. I just re-entered on that breakout with the volume that came in. 75.23 is stop loss on that, keeping it tight, looking for a very quick move. If it fails right away, I'm just out of it immediately for a paper cut. Whereas we continue, we're in for a nice quick little scalp, but be careful. Yeah, look at these highs that we're at. There we go. Struggling, man. When I say struggling, I mean struggling. Probably look to cut it for a few points of a scalp here. Time for sleep. Get some sleep. Good night. Good job today. Good trades. Good W's, everybody. Good work. We made ES our blank today. I will say buyers are getting weak up here. So definitely look to possibly exit this trade myself. 75.30, man. 3 points away. There's 75.28. Aw, lame. These sellers don't want it higher, man. These sellers are trying their best in this point right here. Come on, ES, you know you want it. You know you want it. Bang. Come on now. So close. Let's keep digging higher. After midnight. Get some sleep. What are you doing? And boom. Almost. I'll get out right here at 29.75. 28. There's 29. There's 29.25. There's 29.75. And I'm out. That's how we do it, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. We're sniping markets today. Used MRKT AI support 40.44 and placed 40.45. Buy with stop loss 40.30. Closed 80%. Yo, let's go, baby. 40.40. Yo, nice. Nice job. Famous with the W, baby. Somebody caught some gold and it wasn't. Yo, ES still flying. That's amazing. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Finally got that breakout on ES. Right there. There it is, baby. That was my original targets from 75.10. That's all right, man. You know what I am starting to like, though, about these markets is we're getting more of a defined range that we're used to on ES. 20-point swings, 40-point swings. Instead of these ridiculous 80-point swings, 120-point swings. Big seller came in on ES up here. Be careful. I'm actually considering fading this on this breakout with that seller entering the market. But let's just be patient. Yeah, that CVD dropped pretty heavy. Minute 10 left in the 5 minute. We could wait. Looking for 31 to try to hold to the downside here on ES. Would like to, again, try to trade this back into the range. If it holds up, then we look for continuation. If it holds down, we look for us to trade back into the range. That easy, baby. That easy. 40 seconds left in this 5 minute. NVIDIA is starting to get weak again. SpaceX did make new high of day. Microsoft tried to rally on that too. See if we get our equity chart up here. There we go. Looking for us to close back below this yellow level, back into that 75.30 again. It could possibly do another break to the upside and then reverse. So just be patient. Don't force anything. Those buyers came in with some strength. We had longs at the lows. It was a phenomenal job. Look at that. Those sellers are not winning. Those buyers are taking it higher again. That's amazing, guys. Good job. Good work. Buyers are saying, let's go up another leg. Huge. Wow. Good work, guys. Great, great job. W's in the chat. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Guys, let's hit 50. We got to run 50 every stream or else I'm going to stop doing these. Now it looks like we're going to get some continuation. I'm definitely a little disappointed in myself for not holding the longs that I had before when we got long at 75.08, but it is what it is. We break out higher here, and we're going up another leg on ES towards that market 75.42 key level. NASDAQ trying to hold. Great. Getting a big buyer here on ES again. Want to see new high of day get taken out. We make new high of day here on ES. We should be clear for a rally. If not, then we're probably, like we said, we're going to stay a bit more range bound. So just be careful. Looking for break of new high of day to enter. Stop would be at whatever recent low we created. Let's see. And remember, we were also looking for up here, right? So we have a lot of resistance up here. We have a lot of price targets up here. We're looking for price to hit. All right, there is new high a day entry. Stop at recent pivot low. Looking for a scalp here on ES with momentum. Nice quick little run right there. Good buyer. Let's see if we get some more volume in this. Can we get a slow, strong grind up here on the ES is what we're looking for. 75.32 is stop loss. 32, like 31.75, I would say. Could pull back to it. We just swept new high a day. We could absolutely pull back to it. Yeah. Oh, man. Bro, these markets are crazy now. We did good, though. We did really good, man. We were in those longs. We had the right bias. We killed it, guys. That's what's up. That is what is up. Now let's see. Do we close back within this range again? Do markets give us another setup? Guys, it is 10:30. We killed it in markets today. We're going to be wrapping up the market in the morning live stream. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Absolutely great job by everybody. Caught the shorts on ES off the open. Caught the longs on ES when we reversed at 950. Really good job overall and great analysis on the market. Guys, have a great rest of your day. I will see you all tomorrow. We'll make some more money tomorrow. You already know tomorrow is Wednesday. I'll see if Imre will join us. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Trade carefully and risk properly. We did awesome. That's right, man. That's absolutely right. We have large gamma 3 at 538 on NASDAQ. Okay. At 538. Oh, 538 on ES. Gotcha. Guys, much love, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to run the like button up. I appreciate you all for being here. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.